Pope Francis paid tribute to his predecessor, former Pope Benedict XVI, in a funeral attended by tens of thousands of mourners at St. Peter's Square, and that is at the Vatican. The funeral marked the first occasion in modern times that a pontiff had presided over the funeral of his predecessor and the first ever of one who resigned. Benedict died aged 95 on December the 31st, just before the new year, at a monastery in Vatican City. He will be interred in a tomb in the crypt beneath St. Peter's Basilica. Rose Wangwe has that report.
Pope Francis led the funeral of his predecessor Benedict XVI in front of tens of thousands of mourners in St. Peter's Square, an event unprecedented in modern times. Red-clad cardinals, dignitaries and thousands of priests and nuns from around the world gathered to say goodbye to the German theologian who started the Catholic Church in 2013 by becoming the first pontiff in 6 centuries to resign. Pope Francis was brought out onto the dais in a wheelchair. Latin chants sung by the Sistine Chapel choir echoed across the square. The mood was solemn and subdued. For the first time in modern history, the proceedings were led by a sitting Pope, Francis, who delivered the homily in Italian as part of a multilingual service with a Latin Mass.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen.
During the Mass, the pontiff, cardinals, bishops and priests spoke of wisdom, tenderness and devotion that he bestowed upon us over the years.
Benedict, faithful friend of the bridegroom, may your joy be complete as you hear his voice, now and forever.
At the end of the service, Francis made the sign of the cross over Benedict's simple cypress wood coffin and bowed his head before 12 pallbearers. Benedict will be interred in a tomb in the crypt beneath the basilica, where John Paul II's body lay in state before it was moved for his beatification in 2011. He was made a saint in 2014. As is traditional, coins and medals minted during his papacy and a written text describing his pontificate, sealed in a metal cylinder, will be placed alongside his body. Benedict's death brings to an end the era of a pope and a former pope living side by side in the Vatican. When he quit, Benedict said he no longer had the strength of mind and body necessary for the task, retiring to a quiet life in a monastery in the Vatican Gardens. Benedict was elected Pope in April 2005 following John Paul II's death. He was known to be more conservative than his successor, Pope Francis, who has made moves to soften the Vatican's position on abortion, as well as doing more to deal with the sexual abuse crisis that has engulfed the Church in recent years and clouded Benedict's legacy. Benedict was the first German Pope in 1,000 years, and church bells rang out across Germany as the funeral finished on Thursday, while many Germans were also at the Vatican.